Hi, this is DarkFox127 and welcome to the second part of, to be honest, I don't know how many parts, but I am doing a little creation kit developers videos where I show you creating some of Caranthir Tower. In the last video, if you haven't seen it, go check it out. Link will be in the description or on an annotation, which will be somewhere on the screen. Probably top left. So we were just editing Durdin in the last video, and he's basically, when we get rid of the colour theme moaning, he's basically my my brand new librarian for Caranthir Tower, the only librarian, not that I had an old one. And here he is, lovely fellow, bit of an angry looking guy, but lovely fellow, and we haven't quite tested him yet. I'm going to do that after I've finished messing a little longer with him. Well, that didn't sound right. So what I said I'd be doing is probably setting him a package to get him to sit in his chair. What I'd usually do in my packages, what I like to do with all of my NPCs, is rather than just have them sit in one location or be in one place all the time, I like to actually give them a bit of a life. So they seem to actually move about, interact with people, interact with objects, do things, rather than just, you know, sit there blank face, basically. So a lot of people are like, yeah, you do that with the default master package 512 whatever, which basically just sandboxes them around. Well, that's still a bit boring. I like to sort of plan their day out, get them to eat, sleep, fart, do whatever. So we're going to go into AI packages. If you want a bit of help with AI packages, then you can either like sort of try and keep track of what I'm doing here, or you can actually go and check out one of my AI packages tutorials, which is a little less entertaining than this. So I'm not going to leave all the links in the description. You can go and find them. If you can't find them, then good luck. We're going to go right click and new. You can add one, like I said, and you can add a load of default packages, but we're going to make one for good old Durdin. So CT Durdin package, and we'll say sit. We're going to give him this time of 8 for how many hours? 12 hours is a bit harsh. We'll probably say 8 hours. 8 for 8 hours. I usually do pretty much what the game do with the packages. I'll go 8 for the time that he's going to start sitting down or doing whatever he's doing, and then I put an X, and then I put basically the time that he's going to be doing it for. Okay, so package template, really useful. You can actually get in and edit these templates, which I never even realised until earlier on today. You can go into extra detail and screw everything up if you like, basically. I wouldn't recommend doing that. Make sure you actually do in a sort of separate package templates rather than mucking the games up. For this, seems we want to get him to sit down. It could be quite a good idea to get him to use the sit package. So the sit location, let's see if sit target actually specifies yet a single sit reference. The difference between those two is you can get him to sit in a generalised area, so he'll go and find a chair within the radius that you say. The one I'm using, I want him to sit on a specific chair. So that'd be pretty good for a king, wouldn't it, if you actually selected the wrong one, said sit somewhere over there, and his sort of minions actually sat on his throne, and then he went and sat on a normal chair. That wouldn't be good. So we want this guy to sit specifically where we're saying. So I'm going to say specific reference if it ever loads, and then I'm going to double click on his chair. Just always check that it says what you think that you've clicked on, because if it's saying he's going to sit on the roof, then that's not good. So there we go. Oh, you can mess around with flags and everything. What I mentioned in the last video is you can get him to wear his sleep outfit while he uses the package. Last time I tried this, it didn't work. So that's a fantastic option. That doesn't work. A lot of options that just don't seem to actually do things. You can always set conditions to saying that he has to have a sweet roll in his inventory if he's going to sit down. If he doesn't, then he can't sit. Stupid things like that you can actually set up. So we're just going to leave it at that. What I do need to do is actually set the schedule, because that doesn't decide it. That's just sort of your own visual aid, if you will. Duration 8 hours and start at 8. All 8s. There we go. So set that. Now that's his only package, so he's going to go and sit down for us, hopefully. If he doesn't, we can just slap him. Yes. More warnings. You got to love all these errors, haven't you? Yes to all, and it gets rid of them. It's like, well, dearie me. Other thing that we actually need to do, I'll give him some factions in the last video, if you remember. Unless you didn't watch it, in case you won't remember. So what I need to do is actually set him up a nice faction now. So this is sort of half and half tutorial on packages a bit and factions really, I suppose. Character, faction, wipe the filter, we can't see anything if I can ever get there. Usually you can type in merchant and you can get a list of certain merchant factions. There's the major job ones. We need to make one, so I'm going to alternate click new. ID, CT again, put CT on the front of everything. Well, not for your mod obviously, you just put something to sort of shove all of your stuff in the one place. So you can put like 00Z or something. Categorise it much easier for you. Durdin merchant faction, that'll help. Durdin's merchant faction. I can't type today for crumpets. I don't think we even need to put a name, to be honest, because I mean you're never really going to see that, but again it's probably just for user sort of help. Can be owner, you usually have to set. Click vendor. We actually need something else here, which is a chest, which he doesn't have at the moment, so I'm just going to go and find Urag's chest, if he has one. I mean, oh, if he has one, of course he has one. If you don't know, then Orag is the orc that you'll find in the mages. Mine's gone blank. Basically, in the College of Winterhold, he's in the library, the Arcadium. That's where we'll find Orag. So I'm just going to take a look at his chest. Not that chest, you know what I mean. So let's take a look at his container. Yep, all level books, load of crap. That's what we want to sell. So I'm going to duplicate that chest, alternate click edit, and then I'm going to rename it. So we're going to go CT Durdin chest. We'll probably put merchant chest just to help me out a deal, because I'll probably come back and make him another chest and another chest, and they'll be like, crap, which one's his actual merchant chest? Put Durdin's chest on there. What I actually like to do, my chests, I actually like to not put them in the void like a lot of people recommend that you do. I actually like to just lock the things with a key that you'll never find because it doesn't exist. And I actually like to put them in the cell. And then people are like, well, people can just cheat it then and use an unlock command. Well, if they're doing that and they're cheating, then they can do whatever they like anyway, and I didn't think that they'd find in the chest. So I just like to make it a little more realistic, so it's like he doesn't actually have to go into the void to get his stuff, which I can just imagine him doing and falling through the ground. So I will change this a little myself later on, but for now that's going to stick as that. And then I still haven't put the chest in, and I need to put his chest in here somewhere, so a little spin round, find out. In this actual case, just because of the design of the place, I actually am going to go against what I just said and stick it in the void. Out of the way. Select the chest. Oh, excuse me. Select the chest. Near self. Always just put near self for where they're selling. What you can do is you can say, like, if they're in the bathroom, they're not going to sell you anything. So if he's taking a dump and you follow him into a bathroom, he isn't going to sell you anything. So you could say that he has to be in a specific location to sell, because near self, that would technically mean that you could buy and sell things off him whenever you want and wherever he is. So vendor list, type vendor to get lists. I'm also going to make him his own list as well. For now I'm just going to set it to misc, or better yet spells, but I'm going to make him his own actual vendor list. What the hell, we'll do that now. Best thing to do. Let's make him a nice little vendor list then, shall we? If I can figure out where I'm going. A lot of things that include lists to set up with factions, NPCs, spells, enchanting, benches, all that kind of stuff. Form lists are usually used for this. So if we just wipe that out and look at form lists. Form lists are just, well, as it says on the tin really. Lists that contain data that the creation kit uses when linked to certain things. So we can actually, something that I have spotted is that people are like, this voice doesn't work with my follower. I'm just going to show you now how to know what voices will work with followers. In this voices follower all, in this little form list, you can see all the voices that you can use for your follower. Anything else will not work, and you are wasting your time. So I'm just going to guide people to this basically if they ask me now, like, this voice doesn't work with my follower. That's a great list to go in. So as you can see, form lists include a lot of information. In this case we want vendor, and these are all the vendor lists that we can select from here. I'm just going to need to confirm this faction, because if I actually want to go and add a form list into here, I'll need to close it and open it for it to update and put my new form in, or my form list. We need something close. Not sure what Orag actually uses. There he is, College Orag. We can actually copy his. Spell tombs and books. I'm actually going to want scrolls to be available as well for this. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to duplicate that, wipe it, and yeah, screw it. I'm going to put CT vendor Durden. There we go. That's what we want. Another mind freeze, brain freeze. Keywords, anyone? There we go. Found keywords. Want a keyword for scroll now. So keywords, you always drag and drop in like that. So spell tombs, book scrolls, anything else you wanted him to sell, you just find it and dump it in there. So I'm going to click OK. No to the yes. There we go. And another brain freeze. We need to go into his faction again now. So we're going to type in Dirty. Open his faction, and you might have guessed, put in his little vendor buy list. So that list that I just edited, it's basically anything that's in there is the kind of thing that you can buy and sell. Again, you can put like vendor conditions, saying like he has to have a sweet roll in his inventory if he's allowed to sell you anything. No point in doing all that. Good thing here with the start and end hour is that you can actually go end hour 24 and the start hour as 0. That basically means if you set it like that, he's always available to sell things as long as no other conditions anywhere are preventing him to, or this location thing isn't set to in a certain cell. So that's really great, but we want him to sell 8 for 8 hours. Oh, I've got to do maths now. 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 4. That's a bit early. And he's a little early. Nah, screw it, yeah. I'm going to put 16. It works on a 24-hour clock, so I'm going to have him start at 8 in the morning and finish at 4. Actually, I'll say it's a bit early. That's basically someone's normal working hours. I do tend to be a little harsh on my NPCs, and I make them work their butts off for hours and hours on end. Sometimes 12 hours, and then they don't get any free time. Which I think's fair, to be honest. Plenty of work. Yep, we don't want him buying and selling stolen items. You can if you want, but that's another thing I noticed after I ticked it didn't work. So I think there's a few more things to it than that. But there we go. We've got Durden now. He's standing here ready with his faction set up. The one thing that you want to make sure you don't forget here, which I nearly just did, is actually add the bloody faction to him. Otherwise, he ain't going to work. So what was it? CT Durden. There it is. So make sure he's got his own faction and the merchant and miscellaneous, and we are, or should be, ready to go. I'm going to save that. I'm going to go in and we're going to see how we've done creating Durden. So it should look pretty good. As you can see, I might as well just show you quickly in the kit, the library. Put the lights on. That's the library. That's where we're going next. So I'll see you there. Okay, here we are. We've shown up in the library, as you can see. Full of nothingness at the moment, so hopefully we can fill it with more NPCs. We got Durden here. He's obviously gone and sat on his chair like he's supposed to, and you'll notice that the other guard that usually hangs around here isn't very impressed about it, because he usually sort of sits there, but he will actually be sort of guarding around this place, walking around the library eventually. So more packages to set up. I wish he'd stop talking. I don't know what he's on about.
Need something?
Yeah, I need you to shut up. Right, so there we go. We've got Durden working. We'll just check that his merchant stuff's working.
Need something?
I like the voice as well. I think that works quite well. You'll have to excuse all the messages going on at the bottom. So as you can see, he sells books. I'll set that up properly. He'll be selling much more interesting things, and you'll be able to sell him scrolls and everything. So that's great. Thanks very much for watching. Please go and visit all my antisocial websites. Check out the main website, and hopefully I can do some more videos of the creating of Caranthir Tower. And I'll speak to you next time.